How's it going? Welcome to Coffee Time. I'm Mocha Max, and it seems like California is at it again with new laws to stop speeders. There's going to be limits put on every car from 2027 on. But before we get into that story, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like this video and hit that notification bell to be alerted when I upload new videos. So California is introducing a new law that will put speed limiters on every car produced after 2027. This sounds good on the surface, but I feel like it's a little too much overreach from the government. So this article from Car and Driver talks about the bill in question, which will prevent cars from going 10 miles per hour faster than the speed limit. So it's going to electronically limit the vehicle speed starting with the 2027 model years. Emergency vehicles are going to be exempt, of course, but this brings into question exactly how are they going to implement it? Is there going to be some kind of remote shutdown for these cars that can be abused? Say if you're on the wrong side of the political aisle, whether you're left or right, whoever may be in control can use this for their own nefarious reasons. And yes, of course, this bill is being introduced by the state senator, Scott Wiener. And yes, that is his real name. And in case you haven't seen him before, yeah, this is Scott Wiener right here. He's introduced quite a few bills in California, and yeah, it's questionable at best what his real intentions are. Yeah, so in California, the maximum speed is 70 miles per hour. So going anything faster than that, faster than 80 miles per hour, is going to be prevented, which on the surface, it does seem like a good idea. But there always are cases in emergencies where you should be able to go faster than that. First thing that comes to mind is if you actually have some kind of emergency where you do need to drive somebody to the hospital or something. And if, of course, if there's nobody else on the road and you're on a straightway or something, going 10 miles per hour faster, I don't really see an issue with that. Well, there's actually a direct quote from Scott Wiener on this, and he's saying, I don't think it's an overreach at all. And he doesn't think most people would view this as an overreach. Well, I, for one, do see this as the government overreaching a little bit too much. But his quote actually brings somebody to mind.
And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords.
Now, this new bill does not surprise me at all. It's one of the things that California's elites love to do by controlling the people and making these insane policies all in the name of safety. So coming from the Telegraph, it's talking about how California actually suffers one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. And it's one of the states that actually has been having a mass exodus. They have the highest tax rate, or at least one of the highest tax rates, and they're too focused on doing everything to go green, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when you're closing down nuclear power plants that were pretty much responsible for a majority of the electricity in California, and when you're dealing with rolling blackouts constantly in the summers due to everybody using their ACs, there's some other problems that need to be definitely looked at before making these kind of policies. And of course, this is going to definitely be approved by Newsom. This is coming from the same person that wanted everyone to be staying home because it was too dangerous. But yet, here he is with the California Department of Public Health eating out at a fancy restaurant while everybody else had to stay home and not see their families. But credit when credit's due, because there is one bill or law that was actually vetoed by Newsom recently, and this was Assembly Bill 734. and it would have prohibited any children younger than 12 from playing tackle football. I understand the reason why. They do have a higher risk for developing like traumatic brain injuries from playing tackle football, but where does it stop? The government's pretty much saying you don't know how to take care of your own kids, and they know better than you. So personally, I see the benefit of playing sports, and yes, you do have to take the pros and cons along with anything you do. So there's always risks for anything, but I think the benefits far outweigh the risks. By having children go in and play some sport, they actually learn a camaraderie with teammates. They stay out of trouble because they have something to actually put all their free time and effort into. When I was younger, I really got into MMA, like martial arts. I was doing jujitsu. I was able to avoid a lot of, I guess, trouble or doing just random things that may have got me in trouble, because I was able to put all my free time, all my concentration into something like jujitsu, something like kung fu, just MMA. It was getting me away from just being out on the streets and doing things that aren't necessarily going to be good. And I really think that these kind of things will help children to develop and actually be a little bit more competitive and have drive to go and do these things. Definitely, I don't think this is something that the government should be stepping in on. A better option would be for them to actually point out the risks for these sports and let the parents decide along with their children what would be beneficial for them. I don't think you necessarily need Big Brother watching every move that you do and telling you what you can and can't do with your own family. But what do you think about all this? Do you agree with these bills? Do you think that they should pass? Or are you against it completely and you don't want Big Brother watching what you do or telling you what to do? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And until next time.